见到你，来一次会见面，很感谢您抽时间会见我，非常感谢您会见我。
Shenzhen, China, California Governor Gavin Newsom gets behind the wheel of the newest hybrid from Chinese automaker BYD. This vehicle is self-driving, so it's about to start turning on its own. Whoa! Newsom hands-free as the car moves.
I don't know why you need to do this.
It's a boat too, I guess.
Yeah. Does it float?
Yeah, thanks to you.
This car can be driven in water.
Who needs a car when you can have a car and a boat? And that's what you're seeing right behind me.
I know. We'll be back in a couple days. See you guys later.
Got Hotel California blasting. Yeah. Even though the car plays Hotel California, it's not yet available in California. It currently costs $160,000 in China. Patrick Juan is BYD North America's vice president.
We remain hopeful as to bring our technology and those fantastic products to America.
During COVID, Newsom gave BYD a no-bid contract for $1 billion to make face masks. BYD currently partners with California to produce electric buses in Lancaster. Newsom checking out Shenzhen's fleet of the largest electric bus collection in the world. Not only do they have more buses here than anywhere else, they also have more charging stations, some 40,000 of them throughout Shenzhen.
This is a preview of things to come.
In Shenzhen, Alex Michelson, Fox 11 News.
Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So, sneaky, slimy Gavin Newsom went back to his roots, and he took off to China to have a meeting with the leader of the Communist Party of China, Joe's boss. And it looks like he had a great time. Now, I'm going to dig into more of this. I'm really not sure as I do this if this is some violation of the Logan Act, which, if you guys aren't familiar with it, it excludes a civilian citizen from negotiating or, being involved in U.S. foreign policy without express consent. But they don't prosecute this. If you guys remember, John Kerry, he secretly visited Iran with insurances during the Trump administration. And then, so Comrade Newsom in China is probably no big deal at all. I'm going to get into this, guys. But first, thanks so much to everyone that's been subscribing and leaving such great comments. Really appreciate the support. If you haven't already, help us to continue to grow. Like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. Take a look at this.
All right, Ginger, thank you. Governor Gavin Newsom has met with Chinese President Xi Jinping this morning in Beijing.
It is part of his trip to promote climate cooperation between California and China. KTLA's Erin Myers live in News Center with the details. Erin, good morning.
Good morning to you both. Today is the governor's third day of a week-long tour of China, where he is pushing climate cooperation. Today he met with Chinese President Xi Jinping and other top officials. He has been greeted warmly on his visit, even though there have been heightened tensions between China and the United States over the years. Now, in a photo, you can see Governor Newsom and the Chinese president in their meeting, which took place this afternoon in Beijing. They discussed how California and China can continue to work together to advance climate action, promote economic development and tourism, and strengthen cultural ties. He also reiterated how important China is in the world's efforts to reduce pollution.
We built on a memorandum of understanding related to the environment that was signed in 2013-2014. We updated it with 9 core principles to advance our collective strategies and efforts to address the issue that defines our times and defines the purpose of my trip to China, and that's the issue of climate change and the imperative importance of addressing the fundamental fact that we're not going to move the needle on climate change unless the United States and China collaborate together.
China has said that they are willing to work with the United States to advance mutually beneficial cooperation, to manage their differences, and to meet global challenges, among other things, so both countries and the world benefit. The governor speaking out on the relationship as well in a meeting with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi today.
I'm here in expectation, as you suggest, of turning the page, of renewing our friendship, re-engaging on foundational and fundamental issues that will determine our collective fate and future.
also met with the vice president, who called Newsom an old friend and said that his visit will inject positive energy to the development of the China-U.S. relationship. During his trip, Governor Newsom is visiting Beijing, Hong Kong, Shanghai, and 2 provinces. He is the first governor to be in China since former Governor Brown visited in 2017. But the trip has come with bipartisan criticism. According to NBC News, the 2 countries are at odds over things such as trade and technology, human rights violations, another issue, which is something Governor Newsom said was discussed during his trip. This week-long trip with Newsom comes as both countries are apparently working on a potential meeting with the Chinese president and President Biden. In the News Center, I'm Erin Myers. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, so there it is. Gavin Newsom is over in China selling us out to the climate gods. And if you guys watch my channel at all, you know that I really like Vivek Ramaswamy, right? And he's got some great points on all of this. And his main point is that the climate agenda really is, at its core, all about selling out to China and giving them almost total control over Western technologies and, more importantly, Western economies. And no one pushes back. No one ever asks, what sense does it make to enrich the largest polluter on the planet in order to virtue signal here at home and pretend like we're saving the world? Guys, it just doesn't make any kind of sense. When all you're doing is moving your carbon emissions and most of your money overseas. For what? For a virtue signal to feel good about something you're actually not doing? It just doesn't make sense. And really, it is one of the true cornerstones of the Democratic Party. One of their strongest positions, and it just doesn't make sense. But that's fine. That's all good. Gavin can go to China. He can virtue signal all he wants. Play around in fancy electric cars that most of his state citizens will never, ever be able to afford. And that's fine. But here's where I have a problem with it. It is not legal. It is not ethical or even a good idea to have some woke governor in another country, in a hostile country, talking U.S. foreign policy. We can't have that. But the media just eats it up like the guy's some great messiah. And as you watch this, just ask yourself, guys, what would their reaction be if Ron DeSantis were over there talking and influencing U.S. foreign policy? Take a look.
Did you get a sense from him that this relationship is hurtling towards even a hot war in the next few years over Taiwan or whatever it might be? Or what sense did you get from him of a relationship that he wants to have with America going forward?
And the fact that we had access to these high-level meetings, I'll be meeting with 5 provincial governors tomorrow, another extension of this visit, I think is suggestive that we're entering, I hope, a new phase, bit of a thawing. The last few years have been very stressful. I think it goes to your question. And we've got to turn down the heat. We've got to manage our strategic differences. We've got to reconcile our strategic red lines. Those are well established between our 2 countries. But I want to applaud the Biden administration. And on the basis of the engagement I had today with members of the Xi administration, President Xi himself, I want to applaud his willingness to reconcile those differences, people-to-people exchange. The fact he's meeting with the governor of California at the subnational level, I think, is indicative of a thawing.
Guys, all that this is indicative of the fact that Joe Biden is on his way out and he's going to be replaced. They're getting Newsom out there more and more domestically and internationally. They're normalizing his role for a country, our country, and not just his state, right? So the people see more and more of him before some day is going to come when they just quietly try and make the switch. I'm still not exactly sure how they're going to fully pull it off. I don't think they can. They're not going to pull it off, but this is absolutely, without a doubt, what they are working towards. And this is exactly why we see 2 potential hotspots, in the world that could be the potential beginning to World War III completely melting down right now. And Gavin's in China while Joe's at the beach. The governor of our largest state has now more power, more influence, and more respect from the media and our enemies than our own vice president. And make that make sense. But anyway, guys, that's just my take. Let me know your take in the comments. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.